I added I added the limit switches, which I got them from Amazon. It's supposed to be waterproof, so I can put them outside. Hook them up to the breadboard for now, temporarily. Yeah, it's supposed to be common, normally open, normally closed. The only part that we care about is the normally closed, if I'm not mistaken, just to keep track of whether it's open or not. So like when I push this, it now senses whether the status is on or not. Closed. So when I push this, it says door close limit is on. When I remove my finger, it says off. So the same thing with the other one. This should be controlling the open limit. When I push it, it switches. Also, you can see it in the logbook too. Also, I added a part where if neither one of them are closed, meaning neither one of them have been pressed, it's considered to be moving. So that's how we know whether the door is open or not. So I push the open door limit down, that will be considered as the door is closed. I'm going to remove my finger from the open door limit. It is now both unpressed, so it thinks it's moving. And then when I push down the closed one, it thinks it's closed. So let's put it to this test. So I'm gonna click on the open. Alright, so it's gonna keep moving. Since neither one of them have been pressed, it's saying it's moving right now. So imagine I had somehow like put a limit switch here. As soon as it gets this one, gets to this point, it's gonna press on it. I think it was this one, so let's push on it. Let's see, as soon as I pushed the closed door limit, it stopped. Well, it's kind of reversed because this should have been closed, but it's okay. I can always rename them. So I'm gonna remove my finger, and then I'm gonna put on the close it. So since neither one of them are pressed, so it's gonna get to a point where I'm gonna put this limit switch to around here, let's say. As soon as it gets to that point, that limit switch will be pressed. So let's see. So I'm gonna click. See, it thinks it's closed. Yep. Door close limit is, well, technically it's open because that thing is going to be moving up as it opens it, and then when it's extended it will be technically closed. So I can just rename these variables. What else? Oh yeah, if this thing has been pressed, if I try to close it, it's not going to do anything because it's going to say it's already closed. Let me see if I can hold it with one hand. So I have, I'm trying to record, and it said the closed door limit is pressed. So I'm gonna try this, click on, it's difficult, there. Okay. All right, so the door has been closed, so I'm gonna try to close the door that's already closed. As you see, nothing happens, it won't try to close it. But so I'm gonna release my finger from the closed door limit switch. Now close it. Since there's a little bit of leeway, it should work. Close. Since it's not pressed, it'll close more. So I'm gonna push the thing. As you see, it's done. Alright, that's about it. Let me see if I can show the code. Where is my ESP home builder? Yeah, it's right here. It's basically I just asked the AI. Most of it was AI, so I don't want to take the credit. I just put it together. You go to the ESP Home Builder, which is an, if I'm not mistaken, it's called extension on Home Assistant. You add your Wi-Fi to it, and I put a static IP so I don't have to worry about it. Again, by DHCP. If something happens, it'll turn into a access point where I can, connect to it. This is the GPIO relay A inverted. I had to add this part to make it work. I found it online. It's always going to be off. Again, relay B, which is either or, relay A or B, and it's connected here. And then so these are the relays. These are the binary sensors, which is basically defining the limits, which I hooked them up to the ground, and then it's D5 and D6 pins. D1 and D2 is connected to the relays, and then we have ground and 5-volt. I had to share the 5-volt and ground with the breadboard. I have to figure out how to do it. Probably I'm just gonna pigtail them all together when I put them outside and waterproof it somehow. Yeah, that's basically it. So where am I at? Okay, yeah, binary sensor, open door, closed door, D5, D6, and then this is the script. Open the door if if the door limit is off, then open it. Else it says the door is already open. Though you can't just open something already open, meaning if the door open limit switch is like pressed. Otherwise, turn off the other relay that closes it, wait for 500 milliseconds, and then turn on the relay A, which extends it. Literally, the relays are doing what they're doing is they're just like changing the polarity of this 12-volt power supply. So what it's doing is just like so this is the linear actuator, plus or minus. What you're doing is just basically switching the polarity by turning on this one, turning off this one, or you turn on this one, turn off this one. It's just gonna switch the polarity. Well, one thing to be careful about is that you don't turn on both of them at the same time. I'm not sure what would happen. I didn't try it. I'm not looking to try it. But anyhow, so, and then again, close the door if it's reached to closed door limit, or if it has been, extending for 60 seconds. I timed it. It takes about like 47 point something seconds, so 60 seconds is fine. So it's either gonna have to hit the closed door limit, or it's gonna, run for 60 seconds. What else? Yeah, these are just the buttons templates, which basically correlates to these open or close presses, and then those are the sensors. Yep. Yeah, text sensor is basically saying this is the door status. If the open limit is on, open door limit, which is like either one of them. One of them is an open limit. The other one is a closed limit. It's basically trying to say if the open limit is closed, open, it's closed. I'm sorry. So open door limit state is open, then it's open. Otherwise closed. If neither one of them have been pressed, it's in the moving state. So I think that's a good place right now. The next one is, I thought about, what if for some reason this has Wi-Fi, it connects to my Wi-Fi. But what if the internet is down? What if my router is down? What if somehow the connection is down? You don't want the chicken coop door to be open overnight and somehow, God forbid, some wild animal goes into the coop and, kills the chickens. So I thought about a couple options. One of them is to add some sort of a timer. If it's, let's say, 10 p.m. at night, if it's still open, then close the chicken door. I looked it up. Well, VMOS D1 Mini doesn't say the time itself. So there is a module called the real-time clock unit, which you can buy it online, fairly cheap. Install it. It comes with the battery, or install a battery. It saves the time, so it doesn't have to rely on anything. That second one is to add basically the light sensor. So if the light has been, if I'm not mistaken, it's an analog, but you can say if the analog sensor, if let's say if the light is below 30%, I'm just giving you a ballpark idea. If the light is below a certain threshold, then, and if it's been, let's say, 2 hours and the door is still open, then close it automatically. So those are the two options I can think of. I'm sure there's many other options. But yeah, so the next step is, for now, to put it together, weatherproof it, and then cut out the parts. I'm gonna build it out of wood and probably plywood. Pressure treated is preferable. I think I have pressure treated in the shed. And then cut it all up, and then install it, and then I'll make another video.